what our warm-up was supposed to be like, so this will be a good review. All right? There's going to be a problem on the test that almost looks exactly like this. So if you had trouble, I would highly suggest you're paying super close attention. Okay, especially those of us in the back on our Chromebooks, right? So for number 4, continuous or discrete? What do we think? Thumbs up, continuous, thumbs down, discrete. What do we think? Thumbs up, right? I see a line. That's obviously going to be continuous. Now, if this is a function, we'll only have one y-intercept, right? Because if I were to cross the y-axis twice, now I've got 2 points above each other, which would not make it a function. So this little parentheses s is just trying to trick you. What's my one and only y-intercept here?
0, 7.
0, 7. Right there. All right? What else is that point? It's my y-intercept, but what else is it?
Maximum.
My relative maximum at 0, 7. All right? Where does this line cross the x-axis? 2 places.
Negative 2, 0.
Negative 2, 0, and 2, 0. You need this? Okay, so when we're trying to find our positive and our negative interval, we're going to be using our x-intercepts to figure that out. Positive interval is anywhere above the x-axis. Negative interval is anywhere below the x-axis. All right? Now, when we're talking about above and below the x-axis, what do we notice about this function? Arish?
The arrows are not going down. It's only up in the bottom.
The arrows are going up?
Yeah.
So that'll help us out when we get to end behavior. I love it. Absolutely right. But when I'm talking about above the x-axis and below the x-axis, what do I notice about this function? Yeah, Gurpreet. Exactly. There's no part of this function under the x. And just like Arish said, we're going to continue up, up, up forever. So there is no negative interval here at all. What would that mean my positive interval is? If I was going to write it, I could say x is
X
less than...
negative 2, but, wait.
Is it ever going to be negative? No. So it's infinitely going to be positive, right? So my positive interval is anywhere less than negative infinity, or sorry, greater than negative infinity and positive. Let me say that again. My positive interval will be anywhere greater than negative infinity or less than positive infinity. Or we could just say my positive interval is infinity, forever. This function will never, ever, ever dip below the ocean line and go under the water, like we talked about. It's always going to be up, up here on the sand. Is that why we had trouble with number 4 a little bit? Okay. Does that make sense, though?
Wait, so
Cool.
Does that mean all of them are negative infinity greater than x?
Does number 5 dip below the x-axis? Yeah, so it'll be different.
Oh.
Okay? But number 4 is never going to cross the x-axis. It'll hit it at negative 2 and 2. What are those 2 points right there? What do we call those?
Minimums.
Minimums. They're down. They're little valleys, right? So here's my max. These are my mins at 0, negative, or 0, 2, and 0, negative 2.
No, that's wrong. Because you have to switch the 2 and 0 around.
Good catch. 2, 0, negative 2, 0. Great job. Got to make sure we're writing that correctly. I totally did that on purpose. Anyway, my increasing and decreasing. Now that's how I'm going to use my max and min, right? So I'm going to split my min. I'm going to split my max. I'm going to split my min. All right? So this far left part of my function, is that increasing or decreasing?
Decreasing. Decreasing.
If you think about the roller coaster from left to right, it's going down. So that would be decreasing anywhere less than what?
Less than -2.
Okay, so decreasing. My first interval is anywhere where x is less than -2. If I'm decreasing, I hit that minimum and change directions. Now I'm doing what? Increasing, of course. From where to where?
-2 to +2. I mean 0.
-2 to 0, right? When we hit that max. So I'm increasing in between -2 and 0. I hit my relative maximum and change directions, which means I'm now doing what?
Decreasing.
Decreasing again. In between what two numbers?
0 and +2.
0 and 2. I hit my relative minimum and I change directions, which means I'm now increasing again. Anywhere greater than what?
2.
+2. Would you guys like your lives to be slightly easier?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will lower the standards. So this is where we're all getting confused, right? This little 3-piece interval. Okay. Here's what you can say instead. You could just write between -2 and 0. Is that easier?
Yeah.
Okay. If you see, hey, look, this little increasing segment is between -2 and 0. Just write between -2 and 0. If that makes you less stressed. So this positive interval, this decreasing interval right here, instead of 0 is less than x is less than 2, we could just say
Between 2 and 0. I mean 0.
between 0 and 2. Is that easier or is that the same difficulty?
That's way easier.
It's the same.
Okay, I hear some saying, if you think it's the same, then I would just write it in this notation.
It takes up way more
Because
space.
I don't know who's going to be your teacher next year. They might not want you to put between blank and blank. But I'm telling you right now for the test, I'm cool with this.
Okay.
Okay, if that makes your life a little bit easier, saying just what it's between. All right? Now for this one, right, if it's anything less than -2, we're not going to say less than -2 because it would just be easier for us to say x is less than -2. Like we can do that, you know what I mean? But if we're talking about the contained intervals, same thing with positive and negative, right? If I'm looking down at number 5, quick sidebar, I've got this positive interval here from 2 to 6.5. I could say that it's positive between 2 and 6.5. And between -2 and -6.5.
Oh, yeah.
And I could say this negative interval is between -2 and 2. It's basically the same thing. You're just writing it out of notation, but because we've been having a little bit of trouble understanding that, I'm totally fine with you just writing it like that. Okay? But again, I still have a negative interval less than -6.5 and a negative interval greater than +6.5. So we got to make sure we're including all that. I'm going to tell you right now, on the test, it's going to be a shape like this, either a little M or a little W.
Okay.
So you got to be comfortable with multiple intervals both ways. I made it look like a McDonald's
I was
logo
gonna say that.
with the yellow and the red. Yeah. Yeah, Kaylee. Go through number 5, all of them? Sure. Let's finish number 4. Arish, you said both my arrows are pointing up. What does that tell me about my end behavior?
Both gonna be increasing.
Both increasing. Nice and easy. And if we have a W shape or an M shape, it's either both going to be increasing or both going to be decreasing. So that'll make our lives easier.
Yeah.
Down to number 5. This is, of course, continuous. Where's my y-intercept at?
Negative
0, negative 7. I got a bunch of x-intercepts, don't I?
Yes.
Negative 6.50, negative 2, 0, 2, 0,
And 6.5.
and 6.50. Look at that. The numbers in my x-intercepts are all the numbers in my positive and negative intervals. I'm only using those numbers. How many relative maximums do I have? How many little hills do I see?
2.
2 of them. One of them, oh, these are not very exact, are they? We'll call it 4.5, comma 9. And on the test, if it's weird like that, I don't think it will be. I think it'll be nice and exact. Just get close enough. I'm not going to be too crazy about it. And then this one up here is at what? Negative?
4.25.
Sure.
Comma 5.5.
Sure. Why not? Anything close to that is cool with me. It's something like that. Now I just want McDonald's. I can't even look at this. Okay. Where's my relative minimum?
0, negative 7.
I'll trust you because I can't see it. 0, negative 7 sounds right to me. Yep, right down there. So now my increasing, decreasing is going to be based on not my x-intercepts, but based on my max and my min. So I'm going to draw a line through my max, a line through my min, and a line through my other max. So here I am increasing anywhere less than what? Negative 4.25. Everybody with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm decreasing. This is a contained one, so I'm going to make my life easier. I'm going to say it's decreasing between what and what?
Negative 4.25 and 0.
Perfect. Nice and easy. I hit that min. I start increasing again. Another contained interval between 0 and
4.5.
4.5. And then I hit my max and decrease anywhere greater than 4.5. Hopefully the color coordination there helps you understand how we figured that out. Something interesting to point out is we're always going to have one more interval than the number of points we identified. So up here, we had 4 x-intercepts. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 separate intervals, one more than the points we had. For my relative extrema, I had 1, 2, 3 extrema and 1, 2, 3, 4 intervals for that. So you're always going to have one more interval than you have points, whether it be for this grouping right here or that grouping right there. All right? Now, end behavior. Where are my arrows pointing here?
Both down.
Down.
Both decrease.
So whether x is increasing or decreasing, it doesn't matter. My function is going to be decreasing. Both my arrows are pointing down. I should have put domain and range on there too.
No.
It's okay. I won't.
Don't be evil.
The domain and range for something like this anyway would be infinity and infinity because the arrows are going to keep going on down and out forever and ever. So you're going to get every x value, well, never mind. We're not going to get into that. It's too complicated. It's going to hurt my brain, which is definitely going to hurt your brain. Okay, any other questions on here? Give me a thumbs up if that helped, even in the slightest. Give me a thumb sideways if it kind of helped, maybe, I guess. Give me a thumbs down if it didn't help at all. I appreciate your honesty. This video will be in Google Classroom for you to review tonight and tomorrow night in preparation for the test. Hopefully something clicks. If not, just let me know. We can try and figure